leader of the GK team, Mr. Kislev, said, Mr. Perumal, it is 12 o'clock in the night and you are, as usual, you are cutting a joke. I said, no, Mr. Kislev, it's not a joke. We are going to make the launch on that day. So I requested Jayachandran Nair to go to the board and then explain the various steps we are going to follow and the milestones that we have worked out and how we are going to make the launch. And we did make the launch on 21st of April. PSLV took almost 16 years of my career in right from the conception, conceiving it along with Dr. Srinivasan and other senior colleagues, and then seeing its fulfillment with the launch of the D1, D2 and D3 launches. After Mr. Madhav Nair left after the D1 and D2 flights, I became the project director of PSLV and completed the launch of D3. Once that was over, I was asked to take charge of GSLV project. And then the project director, Mr. Jaimini, was superannuating in May 1996. So I took charge as the GSLV project. And by then the GSLV project has reached a certain level of design completion and then hardware realization stage. And one of course is the cryogenic stage, which was contracted out to Russians. And the dealing with the Russians was a very challenging task. So I needed to become a diplomat essentially when I joined GSLV in trying to manage the GSLV contract. And I think one thing that I could establish with them is the technical competence with which I can handle them. Okay. So for the first time they found that, of course, I think my colleagues would have impressed them about with the technical capability, but in a way they were kind of in a mellowed way they were handling the Russians. But whereas technically I was not willing to make any compromise with them, and then they slowly started realizing that they are now dealing with a much more competent technical team, and then they started appreciating our the way we can handle them technically, and of course, yes, diplomatically also. And then I had to show a lot of patience because the same point will be discussed endlessly for hours together, and then I have to be hold my patience and then deal with them. One thing that I used to do is we will have a tense moment in the meetings. I will tell them to take a break, and then I will get up and go out and then come back after 5-10 minutes. And then sit down, and usually I will cut a joke. Then that used to bring down the temperature of the meeting, and then we will once again continue our discussions and try to arrive at the conclusions. But overall, I could establish a very good rapport with the GSLV team, and they were willing to go with me in my decisions and then trying to get things done the way we looked at it. The result was the quick realization of the GSLV, and we had the first launch attempt. Everything was going on well, so the countdown was very smooth, and then we reached as scheduled T-minus 4 seconds, the liquid strap-ons were ignited, and we could see all of them have ignited. And then we were proceeding towards T0 to ignite the core motor, and just before 100 milliseconds the flight was aborted. The reason, one of the strap-ons did not develop the required operating pressure in this L40 strap-ons, just catching fire. So suddenly we see that the vehicle is slowly getting engulfed in fire. So everybody was really frozen. So okay, I could get my wits in place. So I called the range safety officer immediately to start the fire extinguishing systems and deluge system we switched on, and then the vehicle was entrenched with the water, and then we could control the fire. And of course we know immediately what has gone wrong, and then the question is how to get back on to launch again. So we immediately assembled the concerned technical guys, and then we analyzed what can be done. So I was very clear that if we are going to make the launch with the same vehicle hardware, we need to do it in less than 20 days. So that was the target I set to the various teams, and then said that, look, we need to do that. So afterwards we called the GK team, which is part of the who are taking care of the cryogenic stage. So in the conference hall we met at night 12 o'clock. So when I told the GK team, look gentlemen, we are going to make the launch on so and so date. The date was fixed was April 22nd, I think, 21st. So the leader of the GK team, Mr. Kislev, said, Mr. Perumal, it is 12 o'clock in the night, and you are, as usual, you are cutting a joke. I said, no, Mr. Kislev, it's not a joke. We are going to make the launch on that day. So I requested Jayachandran Nair to go to the board and then explain the various steps we are going to follow and the milestones that we have worked out and how we are going to make the launch. And we did make the launch on 21st of April in 2002, and then it was a great event. And then the Russians were really flabbergasted with our ability to recover so fast on a first launch and then make the successful launch too. And of course the entire ISRO was very happy, very elated.